Hi everyone, welcome back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a match preview for Newcastle United's game in the Carabao Cup against the league champions, the best team in the world, Pep Guardiola's invincible Manchester City. But that doesn't sweat Newcastle at the minute. We've just come off the back of battering Sheffield United 8-0, and we're buzzing. We're brimming with confidence. It's been a great week. So we're going to have a look at how we think the lads are going to line up, just talk a little bit about the game and how we think we're going to get on. So let's get stuck into that. Just before we do, a little bit of a reminder, if you're new to the channel, you're just checking us out for the first time, good to see you. Why not click subscribe and hang around a little bit longer? We've got loads of great Newcastle United content for you. We've got one live show every Monday, 10 p.m. with what's going on, match previews at the one you're just about to watch, rants, transfer news galore, loads of Newcastle United content. Smash that button, come and join this really fast-growing Evermore YouTube channel, be part of this great community. So let's get stuck in then. As we said, this week of football just seems to get bigger and bigger for Newcastle United. So battered Sheffield United 8-0, which was unbelievable. It was like watching one of them pub league games on a Sunday where the back five had got in at 3 a.m. and they were still pissed from the night before in terms of Sheffield United. But you can only beat what's in front of you. And the lads really beat them with style, though. The confidence was coming back in, the kind of intensity, the movement, the quality. It was all back from where we were last season. And that should really boost the confidence going into this game against Manchester City. I think there's going to be wholesale changes, which we'll look at the team in a minute. But obviously we've got City, then Burnley, then the big one against PSG at St James's Park, the first Champions League game in 20 years. So if we can get a couple of positive results in the lead up to that, my God, the confidence will be sky high. But as I said, I think Eddie will make changes in this cup game. So this is how me and Mark think we're going to line up. You can see there's some serious changes in there. So I think starting at the back, going up to the top, I think Dubravka will come in. I think he's recovered from a bout of illness that took him out for a couple of games. I think we're going to see the two new fullbacks, which I'm really excited to see, because these two guys are supposed to be the future of Newcastle United's fullback positions. We know how good Kieran Trippier is. We know how vital he is to this side, but you have to manage his minutes, especially with all the football that we've got on offer in the week coming, with PSG there and Burnley in the league as well to keep the momentum going. So I think Tino Livramento comes in at right back. I think Jamal Lascelles comes in, and I do think Botman will keep his place in the team. You could easily see Burn slipping into left centre back. It does worry me a little bit with Burn at centre back, but you could easily see that move happening as well. And I think we'll see Lewis Hall starting at St James's Park, and I'm buzzing to see that, because I think the lad's a real talent, and I can't wait to see how well he does. Moving on to the midfield, we've made some changes there, as you can see. I think Sean Longstaff will keep his place just because he seems to have an untapped level of energy. If Sean Longstaff could power the national grid, I don't think any of us would be paying a penny for energy, to be honest with you, these greedy companies, because he's got such a motor on him. He really has. And I think there's no surprise that since Sean's been back on the side, the results have started to go into the positive, because it allows Bruno Guimaraes to play. But I don't think Bruno will start tomorrow. I think Bruno will be given a rest with all the football on offer. And I think Tonali comes in. Now, the big change that I've gone for there is I've got Louis Miley in the centre of midfield, and I really, really rate this kid. I think he's a smashing footballer, and I think Eddie rates him as well. And this could be a game, I think, where we see Louis Miley start in that midfield. I've pushed Anderson up into the left-hand side, given the injury to Harvey Barnes, which I think is a toe injury, and I think Gordon will be rested to manage minutes as well. But you could easily see Anderson in that midfield, and potentially Miggy be moved over to the left with Jacob Murphy coming in on the right. You could even see Matt Ritchie making an appearance possibly as well. But I think that's how we're going to line up. So I think the attack will be Anderson on the left-hand side, because I think Eddie will want to see what he's like there. So maybe he can fill in for Harvey Barnes, potentially in the league campaign, and then maybe bring somebody else into the midfield, maybe Tonali back in alongside Bruno and Sean Longstaff as well. And then I think Isak will get the nod and attack over Wilson. I think Wilson will very much be the starter against Burnley, I think, at the weekend. And I think Isak will start this game and possibly start the PSG game, provided he has a good performance, maybe scores on the goal and stays injury-free. So it's still a fairly strong lineup, as you can see there, with the likes of Sven Botman, Longstaff, Anderson, Tonali, Isak, and Miggy all in the team. I don't think it's a ridiculous wholesale change. Newcastle United side that might get dumped out and will be absolutely pissed off that Eddie's ripped the whole playbook up and started a bunch of bench warmers like previous Newcastle managers used to do. Now this isn't an easy tie though. It's the worst team you can possibly get, because the strength of depth in Manchester City squad is absolutely ridiculous. Even their second string team would be unbelievable. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the team news here. Obviously Rodri suspended after that mental red card where he grabbed the player by the throat at the weekend. So Calvin Phillips will come in. Calvin Phillips, I mean, Jesus, that was a player we were linked to, and we were all buzzing, hoping we would sign him. So that shows you the strength and depth that they've got as well. Rico Lewis is going to come in, possibly. Mateus Nunes at the sign from Wolves, possibly going to come in that midfield as well. The big one will be who they start up front. Do they start Haaland, or do they rest him, and do they bring in Alvarez? Again, look at these names just rolling off your tongue. This will not be an easy game whatsoever. Now, the proposed Manchester City lineup that Sports Mole have gone for here is Ortega and goal, Lewis, Akanji, Nathan Ake, Gomez, Nunes, Phillips, Phil Foden, Alvarez, Grealish, and Haaland. I mean, that's a fucking scary lineup, That could probably finish in the top 4 or top 3 itself. But this will not be an easy game. But Newcastle United are in a great vein of form right now and a great level of confidence brewing as well. You don't just batter a team 8-0 and go into this game with any real fear. Listen, we'll give it a good go. And if Manchester City put us out, it's Manchester City. They might be the eventual winners of this tournament this season. They got to, I think it was the quarters last season, I think it was, possibly. I think Southampton put them out, and then we put Southampton out. But there's no reason why Newcastle United can't make a good fist of this game and go for the win, in my opinion. And if they can get this win, get a win at Burnley, we will bounce in that game against PSG in the Champions League, our second game, looking for points at home. And I think Newcastle are a great prospect at home for any team in that Champions League group. I really do. But how do I think this game is going to go? I'm going to put my neck out and I'm going to say a 2-1 Newcastle United win, and we advance into the next round of the Cup. I think the confidence is high. I think the lads that are playing will be wanting to show that they can do their bit. The lads who are coming in there, I think the 2 full backs, Louis Miley, if he comes in as well, Tonali, I think they'll all want to show, that they're capable of being in this Premier League starting 11 and Champions League starting 11 for Eddie Howe. So I think this could be a really good performance from the lads. I'm going 2-1 Newcastle United. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you think we're going to win? Do you think I'm on Dream Street there in Manchester City? Are too good. Any City fans, if you want to jump in the comments, you're more than welcome on our channel. We don't shun anybody from any other clubs. I mean, you're a brilliant side. Are you worried about going to St James's Park and playing Newcastle United at home off the back of an 8-0 win? Let us know what you guys think as well. As I mentioned, if you haven't already, click subscribe, come and join. There's loads of room for Nevermore. We're just over 5,200 subs, poaching on at 5,300. Hopefully get there by the time you see this video as well. But loads of room for you. Great community here. Jump in the comments. Always welcome. Loads of content coming. How are the lads for Wednesday? Let's beat City and let's keep this brilliant run going. We'll catch you later, everybody. Cheers.